First of all, Jeff, just kind of reflecting on the season, I know at the end you were banged up a lot, but where did you see, or what was kind of your overall assessment, I guess, of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough, I guess, second half of the year for me. I think with the coaching change, I think we responded well, and changing systems on the fly. I think it helped improve our game. I thought everybody as a whole did a good job learning on the fly, changing their games to better the team, and I think we did a good job with that. And it's obviously disappointing to be sitting here today and not being where we all wanted to be, but I think there was definitely growth this year.
For you individually, I think you're 19 short of 1,000 games. Like, do you feel like you have more hockey in you?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely my goal is to play next year, and was really pushing to come back from the injury to prove to everyone, myself, that I could still play, and that's my goal going into this off season, is to fully intend on playing next year.
Jeff, what was the injury? I mean, that's the end of the season. I mean, what did you have to go through?
I had surgery just before the break, and then they gave us a 6 to 8 week window. So I think I ended up coming back at 7 weeks, and trying to push through that, and so it was frustrating. It's not, nobody wants to be hurt, and tried to rehab it, and before the break, knowing that I had that 2 week window, and just made the decision with myself and the staff to just get it done, and park that and focus on coming back and playing down the stretch, those meaningful games, and ultimately hoping to get in the playoffs and be healthy for that.
What was it, shoulder?
No, it was an ab injury.
That had to be really frustrating, especially with the way the team was going too, and all.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, nobody wants to get hurt, but then you get hurt with a new staff coming in and implementing everything. So trying to stay up to speed with system changes and things like that, and video, watching games, going into review sessions after that. So just trying to be involved while not being able to be on the ice.
I mean, if you talk, I guess the number one preference would be to come back here, I would think, or have you thought much about it yet at this point?
I haven't thought much about it. Obviously I haven't had any of my meetings yet, so I just, as of right now, my goal is to play next year. So I guess we'll kind of see how things shake out here in the next little bit.
PD, from a defensive standpoint, from the team game in that aspect, what areas did you see improvement, and what areas are still needed next season?
Defensively, I think when Jans came in, he really worked on our defensive play as a group of 6. But I think as a whole, Todd, really hammered the facts that there's, especially down the stretch, and when you do get into playoff positions, you're going to have to win games 2-1, 3-2. So you can't open things up to try to score while giving up things defensively. And I think he really hammered that. And I think if you watch the games, the work that the forwards did coming back out of the offensive zone, I think that helped break up a lot of plays before they got into our end, and gives us the confidence to play the rush tighter, knowing that you have guys back checking and pressuring that puck.
Yeah, Jeff, like you mentioned, there is such a fine line, a lot of close games. I mean, how much of a difference can it make, or could it have made, just improving a little bit on the PK?
Yeah, I think I think that was a struggle for us throughout the year, and especially early on. You know, I can think of a couple games where you're getting scored, you know, they get 4 power plays, you score 3 times. So those hurt, and, you know, special teams is a huge part of this league, and winning those special team games, you know, within the game, it usually puts you in a position to have success and win those games. And, you know, I think our power play did a fantastic job this year, and, you know, I don't think we, as the PK, overall throughout the entire season, I don't think we did the job that we wanted to do. And, you know, that does, you know, cost you games. And like you said, it's such a fine line now, especially in the East, than it was last year. And it's those 1-2 games that make a big difference.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.